Hi, my name is Rob Sylvan, and I want to share my favorite Lightroom Classic zooming tips to help you work faster in Lightroom Classic. Here in Grid View, the library module, one of my favorite tips is to press and hold the Z key to zoom into 100%, like this. And while you're zoomed in, you can click and drag around to view other areas of the image. But when you're ready to go back to Grid View, release the Z key and you jump right back to Grid. Super handy. Now, if you just want to press the Z key to jump into 100%, you can do that too from Grid View. Pan around the image as you wish. Press the Z key again, and that will take you back to Grid View. Either way, I like to press and hold if I'm just checking focus, but I might use the single press if I'm going to spend more time at 100% before going back to Grid View, so I can move on to the next image and repeat the process over and over again. Now, another tip that I find useful is the space bar. So here in Grid View, if I press the space bar one time, I'll go to Fit View inside of Loop. Still in the library module, but now we can see the image a little bit larger. If I press the space bar again, it'll zoom me to 100%. The Z key does the same thing. And like in Grid View, when you're in Loop, if you press and hold Z and release, you'll switch between 100% and Fit. And actually the spacebar does the same thing if you press and hold and release. Now, a new way to zoom was introduced in a recent update. Here in the library module, Loop View, if you press and hold the Command key on Mac, Control on Windows, you get box zoom. So if I click and hold here, I drag out a rectangle, and when I release, I'll zoom into that region at whatever zoom percentage was needed to fill my screen with the area that I selected. And we can see here in the navigator panel that was 45.2%. Now, important thing to keep in mind when you use box zoom is that if you press the space bar to zoom back out, that's fine, you go to Fit. But if you press the space bar again, you're going to go to that 45.2 or whatever the zoom percentage was required when you use box zoom. So if you want to get back to 100%, just click on this 100% button right here, and then you'll be able to go back and forth between 100% again. Now there's another new way to zoom, but it only works in the Develop module. So I'm going to press the D key to go to Develop. And here in the Develop module, if I press the Shift key, Shift for Scrubby Zoom, we get a different icon appear on our cursor. And if you click and drag to the right, you zoom in, drag left, you zoom out. And just like with box zoom, whenever you release the cursor, you'll end up at whatever that zoom percentage was that you zoomed in on. And likewise, if you want to go back to 100%, you want to click on the 100% button. Now, I'll just point out that up in the View menu, there is a Zoom to 100% keyboard shortcut, not one that I would remember, but I do remember and use the Command or Control plus and minus keys so that you can zoom in and out in different increments using your keyboard as well. So one final tip, especially here in Develop, that I often use when I'm using the spot removal tool and looking for sensor spots, involves the Home button on your keyboard, the Page Up and the Page Down key. Now you might look at your keyboard, especially on a laptop, and not see those buttons, but the FN key, the function key, and your arrow keys will mimic that same behavior. At least it does on my laptop. If I press the Home key, it takes me to the upper left corner of the image, and if I press Page Down repeatedly, I'm going to step through the image in increments without missing a single pixel in this image. When I get to the bottom and press Page Down again, it shifts me over one column and puts me at the top of the image. And I can just use that one Page Down key after I press Home to go through the entire image all the way to the lower right corner. If I press Spacebar, I zoom back out. One final tip before I go, Lightroom remembers where you zoomed in. So if I press the Spacebar, I'm going to go to this corner. So I have to remember when I zoom back out to click to zoom to the region I want to go in, and then Lightroom will remember that when I press the Spacebar or the Z key again. I hope you found that helpful. If you want to see more tips like that, come join us at the Lightroom Virtual Summit, May 3rd through May 7th. See you there.